Well, since you clicked on this video, I think you have an interest in ancient history and you probably want to know more about theories surrounding the ancient world or ancient structures from like the Stone Age, mounds and pyramids and henge monuments, or you want to know more about human evolution or the latest news when it comes to like archaeological discoveries. And if that's the case, I highly suggest you subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload. And if you enjoy my work and you feel like you want to support me, then maybe consider becoming a Patreon or a channel member. So we all know that humans and canines have been best friends for a very long time. Dogs have been domesticated a long time ago, although estimates for when this occurred have always been somewhere around 14,200 and 40,000 years ago, which is quite a massive time frame. But I stumbled upon a fun gem recently and I felt like it would be a lovely video for the channel. And I don't think necessarily that many of you have heard about this. But before we go into this video, I would like to mention very quickly that this video is kindly sponsored by CyberGhost. But as per usual, more on that later in the video. So my name is Kaylee. And in this video, we are going to look into when the dogs sort of split up from wolves, when that occurred, but mostly when wolves/dogs were first domesticated, and then we're going to look at the footprints of a child walking alongside an ancient wolf or dog in a French cave, which is the fun gem I stumbled upon. So first, let's take a look at the current theory proposed by most historians in the past, that wolves most likely were domesticated by accident, as they were probably following the groups of ancient hunter-gatherers around, and they were probably eating their leftover scraps, and yeah, that was a very easy way for them to get food, and that's what most historians used to think. The theory of wolf domestication goes as follows. The docile wolves got more scraps, which was rewarding their docile behavior, which in turn made them survive better and pass on their genes, and eventually the friendly wolves evolved into dogs. You can see from my face that I don't agree with this funny theory. And of course, as you can imagine, with something like this, many archaeologists do not agree with this old theory of domestication. It's most likely quite a complex process that we probably won't ever fully understand. What we do know for certain is that the split of dogs from wolves started to happen some 40,000 years ago. And dogs and humans and wolves and humans started to live together from this time onwards, or so it seems. Our coexistence and the domestication of wolves and ancient dogs made us feel a lot safer, actually. And for me, a sense of safety is very important. Well, speaking of feeling safe, I would like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, CyberGhost VPN, and I want to tell you a little bit more about them. So, are you experiencing feeling unprotected using public networks? Do you want to feel safe, but not at the cost of the speed and responsiveness? Look no further. With CyberGhost VPN, your digital security will jump to the next level. Connecting to the internet through a virtual private network, or otherwise VPN, empowers you to stay protected while you're online. And CyberGhost VPN transmits your data through a secure encrypted tunnel, giving you a high level of online anonymity and high-grade security. With more than 38 million users and a 5-star rating at Trustpilot, reviewed by over 14,000 users, and a price of just $2.23 per month, plus 4 months for free, it's simply one of the best VPN service providers that helps you and your data stay protected. Experience online freedom without restrictions on up to 7 devices simultaneously, and share it with your family and friends to overcome blocked online content, whether it's a website, a social media platform, or a streaming service with your favorite history documentary. CyberGhost VPN supports an incredible 40 streaming services. Click on the link in the description to get this awesome offer that is available only for my subscribers. So what are you waiting for? So to go back to the special relationship that we humans have with canines, it seems to have started as a mutual beneficial relationship. It seems like wolves and humans developed a certain kind of respect for each other while both benefiting from roaming together. Humans were kept safer. Canines, like wolves and ancient dogs, had much more sensitive hearing and smell than us humans, and they would have heard danger coming from much further away, giving the humans more time to defend themselves. Wolves and dogs are quite good at protecting their pack, and they can consider humans as part of their pack as well. Humans, on the other hand, would have given these canines meat, shelter, warmth with their fires, and probably a whole lot more. They would have probably learned a lot from each other during this time. So therefore, you can clearly see that this is a mutual beneficial relationship for both species. It also seems that humans were not the reason for wolves changing into the companionable dogs that we see today. This is most likely an evolutionary shift that occurred inside of the wolves and the ancient dogs after working together for a longer period of time with the humans. There is actually a piece of tangible evidence for this relationship between humans and canines, and this is in the form of footprints from a child that walked alongside a wolf in a cave. So the cave where these prints are located is in the Chauvet cave, and this might be one of the most famous caves in France. Not the most famous one, but at least alongside the most famous ones. The walls of this cave are adorned with some of the world's oldest paintings. Some 400 depictions of animals were created on the walls around 32,000 years ago. But all the way back in the cave, ancient footsteps of a child walking alongside a wolf can be found. And you can see them here. These prints stretch over an area of 45.70 meters, and they were originally made when the soil was quite soft clay that has hardened over time while being left undisturbed for many thousands of years, which is why the prints are so incredibly well preserved. So when looking at the footprints left by the child, the archaeologists estimate that the child was around the age of 8 to 10 years old, most likely around 1.40 meters in height, which is equal to like 4.5 feet-ish. When analyzing the footprints by both, it seems that neither was running, although one footprint from the child indicated that it slipped a little in the clay that was quite soft at the time when the child was walking on it. But it doesn't seem like the wolf was chasing the child or anything like that. The researchers found out that the child was actually walking with a torch as well, as they discovered evidence of the child stopping at some point, and they probably stopped to clean the torch, which has left a stain of charcoal residue on the floor. It's actually quite fascinating, if you think about it, that 26,000 years ago, a small child and their furry best friend went into the Chauvet cave to explore it and to look at the beautiful depictions that were created on the walls some 6,000 years earlier. While us modern humans still go to the Chauvet cave to see the depictions on the walls. The child and the wolf ventured all the way to the back of the cave, where the people who created the depictions had left bear skulls as well, like arranged in a certain way. And that the wolf or ancient dog was not stalking the child as prey in any way, shape or form, but was walking alongside the child. So most likely these two creatures, the child and the wolf, had a very strong companionship. These footprints are evidence that dogs and wolves were domesticated long before most historians thought possible. Instead of them being domesticated some 15,000 years ago, we now have tangible evidence of the domestication of wolves and ancient dogs happening at least 26,000 years ago, at the very least. And there might even be a possibility of this domestication occurring even as early as 40,000 years ago, which I don't find very strange. So these footprints give way to the theory that humans and wolves actually evolved together as species. Not only did we choose them, but they seem to have chosen us in return. So more than 30,000 years ago, it seems that packs of wolves and/or ancient dogs encountered groups of hunter-gatherers. And due to their similar size of groups and their social structures, it seems that they naturally started to cooperate. It's not strange. The animals that both groups would hunt are actually the same, and the length that they would travel to hunt these animals are the same as well. And therefore it's not really strange that they actually started to work together. They probably both had an easier time hunting when cooperating as opposed to them hunting separately. So the entire idea that wolves and ancient dogs started to follow humans around to eat their scraps is just a silly theory. It doesn't make any sense, especially when we know that these animals can actually thrive without humans. It's not hard for them. So this idea of a mutual, beneficial relationship seems a lot more credible because both species would benefit and keep each other's packs safe. The wolves would be able to alert the humans due to their sensitive sense of smell and their sensitive sense of hearing, and humans would actually keep the pups safe when the adult wolves went out to hunt, which is something that other wolves that did not live together with humans had, so they definitely had an advantage. These pups would then most likely play with the human children, and this would only strengthen the bonds between the two species. A fun thing to note is that in the Chauvet cave where these prints are found, there are no depictions of wolves or ancient dogs on the walls amongst the depicted animals. None, which is fascinating when you think about it, because you would expect them to be depicted on the walls. But this might have to do with the way the humans actually viewed these creatures. They probably didn't see them as animals, but more as family, like we in modern times still do actually. This is also evident from the ornaments that have been found belonging to the Aurignacian culture, while wolves during that period of time were actually quite rare, making up only around 3% of all fauna. More than 60% of all the discovered ornaments belonging to this Aurignacian culture are teeth from wolves and foxes. So this actually shows the significance of the relationship that humans and canines had developed during that period of time. And the footprints of the young child walking alongside the wolf is a piece of tangible evidence of this extraordinary bond. So yeah, I mean, dogs kind of have always been humans' best friend, I think. But for me, I'm a cat person. I do like dogs a lot, but I'm more of a cat person. But before I end the video, I would like to remind you of the link in the description down below and use the special discount code CyberGhostVPN only for my channel users to protect your data. It's a 45-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 customer support. So everything's actually very risk-free, and I highly recommend signing up. But with that said, if you enjoyed watching, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more of these kind of videos, and click that bell icon if you want to be notified whenever I upload. If you haven't seen my previous videos yet, then click the card in the upper right corner, or click a link in the description down below, or click a video in the end card. I cater to you. And I would like to say a massive thank you to all my patrons and my channel members, and if you feel like you want to support me, consider becoming one of the members or a patron. And with that said, you've reached the end of this video. This is the last video before I leave for vacation. And after that, I'll be very tanned and hopefully a lot more relaxed, because I've been quite a bit stressed lately. It's not a good look for me. And yeah, I need to relax for about 10 days while being in the heat. And I will see you all next time. Bye!